Samantha here again, and I am on day 120 of my juice cleanse. So I am going to break it with a protocol of prunes, soaked prunes. So I've already soaked the prunes overnight, so they needed soaking overnight. They're there. And here is the juice there. So apparently you drink the juice. So let's have a sip and taste it. It's quite nice. It's really sweet, but it's really nice. And I used to wonder about prunes because they used to give us prunes and salamina and rice pudding when I was at school. I was never really very keen on it. Prunes were not my favorite thing when I was younger. So I don't think I've actually had prunes since I was probably about 8 years old, when they used to make me have it at school. So let's have a taste of one of these. I think I meant to drink the juice first, but I just want to have a little taste of this. It's okay. It doesn't taste really bad or anything. Prunes are dried up plums. Yeah, you can still taste a bit of the plum. Yeah, it's not really strong or anything like that. So I'm very pleased to be ending today. It has been a long 120 days. I'm pleased I've done it. I'm very grateful that I've done it. I'm glad that I put myself through the challenge. And as John Rose says, I'm in for a treat, and I have had a treat. Now, you probably say, well, what kind of treat is that? The treat of clearing out your digestive tract, clearing out to a cellular level, clearing out all the inflammation, the gunk, the rubbish, the toxins. I have heavy metals coming out. So I am, it's been a treat, and I've still got further to go on my healing journey. So subscribe to find out what I do next. I will be doing the refeeding, they call it, which in quantum is no feeding. So it's I call it going back to solids again, just like when you're a baby and you go back into solids from liquids into solid foods, fiber foods. So that's what I will be journeying on next. So subscribe and find out what I do next. There's lots of other things that I have planned coming up. So what else do I think has changed? Well, I've lost probably over 1.5 stones. And you probably think that's not a lot, but I'm quite slim frame, but I'm tall. So I have actually weighed a lot more. I think about 15 stone was about the heaviest I've been. And that was after having surgery and just piling on the weight afterwards through the pharmaceuticals and comfort eating. So yes, I've had some eating disorders in my life, and I think everybody else has had some kind of eating disorder from childhood going upwards. And really, we shouldn't really be eating cooked foods or animal products, because they're not really designed for our bodies. Definitely not for mine anyway. So it's been a really positive thing to go on this journey. And I started back in my early 20s. I went vegan, I went vegetarian back in my early 20s. And that was actually more to do with my housemate, actually, at the time. He was a vegetarian, and but he used to just boil up lots of vegetables in a pot all the time, and it really didn't appeal to me. And I ended up just living on baked beans on toast, which is not really very healthy neither, and chocolate and crisps. That was my diet in my 20s, because I was just a student. I was going out drinking and smoking, and so all of that I've quit. Haven't had alcohol in about 8 years, I think now. It's about the same for cigarettes as well. I kept quitting on and off. So, and then I got to about 5 years ago when I was starting having some major issues with the gallbladder, with my womb, So girls, if you want to improve your reproductive system, your womb and your monthlies, definitely go raw. If you can do a juice cleanse, definitely recommend it, because I'm not experiencing any pains or any cramps. I feel okay. I'm not tired. I used to feel like my iron levels used to drop, and I used to take an iron supplement. But I don't think I need to take that anymore. I'm getting all the iron I need from all the fruits and vegetables. So I used to swell out. I used to have to spend like a couple of days kind of laid up on the couch, you know, not well at all. So by cleansing, clearing out, detoxing, and feeding myself the right diet of fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, and doing a juice cleanse, I have cleared out all the toxins out of my, well, not all, but I'm sure there'll be more to clear out. So I am on a mission to keep detoxing, and I think I will be detoxing for the rest of my life. And I think that that just comes from our society. In our world, we have so many toxins with the air that we breathe, with the water that we drink, that the stress levels from media, from people around us, and also our food has, a lot of it's been sprayed as well, so there's toxins coming from that. So it's it would be very unusual for anybody really to be completely toxic free. So it is a journey of completely cutting all those toxins out. I mean, down to, you know, what you put in your bath water, what you put on your skin, what you put on your hair, everything that you put in your body, from the air, from the chemicals, the products, from the foods, from the people around you, it's all going to go into your body. It ends up in the liver, and your liver is the one that has to sort it out, and it tries very hard to get rid of it, but sometimes it needs a help. So by distilled water, which has not anything in it, it's stripped of everything, and I prefer that. I know some people really like spring water. I've tried spring water, and my symptoms came back again. I used to have brain fog, and I couldn't concentrate very well. So when I went back to distilled water, I got better and better and better. So I stuck to that. Where I can, I go for organic fruits and vegetables wherever possible. There are some things I tried out. I actually tried the tomatoes. I tried every single tomato from my local supermarket, and the only one that didn't upset my stomach was the organic tomatoes. But it doesn't mean that some of the other things, like I can eat the cucumbers okay without them being organic. So it really depends. Your supermarket, your suppliers, what, you know, who is the farmers, who are spraying the stuff, whether they've had stuff in the soil before, whether they are next to another farm that is being sprayed, and the spray comes into that, you know, environment as well. So there's a lot to be said about, you know, testing out your foods on yourself. Not one thing will work for one person and will work for another. It is totally down to you to you know, to figure it out for yourself. And you know, some fruits are, you know, work really well for me, and they don't work well for other people. Things like mangoes, I love the small mangoes. They are the tastiest, the sweetest, and but the big ones, I don't get on so well with those. And it's like the watermelons that we get here, sometimes they do taste a bit chemically. So I will be able to tell. I tried to get organic ones, but they used to blow up because they were so fresh. And the supermarket just stopped supplying them because that reason, because I think they were blowing up in the supermarket, which isn't a good thing, is it? A bit messy. So yes, go for it. Go for a juice cleanse. I highly recommend that if you just want to test it out, do like a 10-day. Start off with a 10-day juice cleanse, so that you kind of get your idea of what you need to do, like, and what you need to prepare for, what kind of money you're going to need, because it has cost me a little bit more doing the juice cleanse, just because you're condensing a lot down into your liquid form. But I decided that I needed to do this. I don't know if I'm going to do it again. I have thought about maybe doing another one in the winter, just to help, give my body a break from it, and allow the, I'm obviously going to go back to raw vegan, because I've been high raw vegan for 5 years, so I'm going to be going back to raw vegan anyway. So I just want to just do other things in my life. I want to do a bit of traveling, and I can't with a juicer. It's not so easy. It's just cleaning up and stuff afterwards. And so I've decided I just want to go back to the fruits and salads, nuts and seeds and avocados again. And I want to see how my body responds. And I think come winter time, maybe I'll be ready to do another one, or maybe just do a mini 10-day one or something like that. Just see how my body feels. Sometimes it's not always so good to always plan these things, because your body will tell you what you want. So all of a sudden I might have a craving just to eat cucumbers for a week or something like that. Your body tells you what it wants. When you become, your body cleans up and you get rid of the toxins, it starts to tell you what it needs. So I'm really craving like seaweeds at the moment. I really could do with like some sushi, like raw vegan sushi and things like that. And I really craving the avocados. But I think that the craving of the avocados is the body is going into, like, losing a lot of weight. So it's like, quick, put the fat back in. We need to store it. It's the body is it's very clever. It wants you to store all this stuff because it thinks you're going to go into starvation. But I actually feel like I'm at the weight I should be. So I'm just going to tone up my body now. Exercise. I've been swimming this morning, got up early, I went for a swim and got my heart going, got my blood pumping through, and see, then that helps with clearing out the toxins of my body. Like, and I'll do that sort of 3 times a week, go to the pool, and the other times I'll do some exercise here at home, and maybe I'll do a video on that as well. So don't be frightened to detox, because once you start on that journey, it's not that it's addictive or anything like that. It's that it makes you feel good. You feel healthier. You think, hang on, if I continue to do this and for a longer term, and I try different things to detox. So we will all try different things to detox. Some people will try various chemicals and stuff to detox. And I mean, I've taken clays and stuff to detox. I've taken all sorts of supplements as well in my past, and I wouldn't say any of them work, to be quite honest with you, but it's all trial and error at the end of the day. It's your own body. You have to figure out what's going on with your body and what your body needs. We are not robots. We aren't like, oh, this robot needs oil, then this one does, this one does. It's not like that. We're all very different. And this is when you become in tune with your consciousness and your unconsciousness, and your body tells you what it needs and what it wants. Some days I think, hey, do you know what? I think I need some iodine. Maybe I'm having a bit too much radiation going on in our environment from the phones and the Wi-Fi and all that kind of stuff. So I just put a bit of iodine on my legs, so it soaks into the bloodstream. Sometimes if my legs are aching quite a lot from exercise or something, I'll use magnesium and I'll just spray that on my legs as well. So, but it's not a regular thing. It's just something that I just feel for it. You see how I've, what things are going on. I'm absolutely looking forward to going back to solids again, so-called refeeding again, because I'm going to want to crave all these different foods. And so I've been spending quite a lot of time when I'm not feeling great or something like that. I've just been looking at raw vegan cookbooks, and people have been putting out bundles, so I've been buying some of the bundles so that I can get a lot of the ebooks and just be inspired. And I'm looking forward to creating some new recipes and stuff myself, and just exploring and experimenting in the kitchen and tasting lots of things. And I'm expecting my taste buds to change. Well, that's another thing that as well is my tongue. It used to be, like a layer of white, like stuff on the back. So that has gone. So if that has gone there, that means all the way through my body, it's probably gone, because that is inflammation in your body, and it comes out on the tongue. So I'm really pleased about that as well. And like now when I wake up in the morning, I'm not like, I might get a tiny little bit of gunk in my eyes, but really very little. I very rarely have to blow my nose, and my ears, I had problems with an ear infection here. That is slowly getting better and better and better. So and I've had ear infections since I was a child. So, and I used to have to go and have them syringed quite a lot. So I'm just putting a little bit of olive oil in them just to help move it, but it's fine. In fact, I often used to be sat here talking to other people on Zoom and things like that, and it would just block up, and I couldn't really, it would sound like an echo that I couldn't really hear very well, and I get tinnitus as well. So it's this ringing thing going on in my ear. So that has really I'm so pleased. It's a journey that unless you've been on, you will never ever be able to guess what it's like. People try to pretend that they know what's going to happen. You have no idea what's going to happen until you actually do one. And I'm not just talking, 10-day one. Do a 10-day one. Start yourself up on the 10-day one. Check it out. See how you feel. And then, later on, maybe do a 120-day one, and then come back and see how you feel after that. It's an incredible journey that I wish I'd done years ago, but I didn't know. I just didn't know about all this juice cleansing. There's a lot of sort of controversial things going on about, oh, you shouldn't juice, you shouldn't take the fiber out. But I'm going back to fiber. I'm going to be going back to fiber. I've already had some fiber today, so not enough fiber. But the thing is, it's a solid food vacation. I'm taking a break from the fiber. So my body then doesn't have to do with the fiber. It doesn't have to try and digest it. It doesn't have to try and push it through the system. It doesn't get clogged up in places. What it then does is it just gives my body a break. So then when I'm giving it a break, it then can put that energy into healing, into detoxing. So basically, even up till this morning, I still had solids coming out of my body. And Tuesday, so 2 days ago, I went for a colonic. So if you don't really want to hear about this, you have to, it's not going to be too gross. But I went for a colonic. There were suggestions about coffee enemas, but I don't really want to put coffee in my body. I've pretty much quit coffee for about 5 years ago as well. I've had about 3 cups in the last 5 years. But I think I would just be so, I don't know, for some reason I feel it would get into my blood supply and I'd be so stimulated, and I don't think I need that any more stimulation. I'm quite energetic and bubbly as it is. So I don't really need any more. So I decided just to go for a water colonic. Now, I hadn't seen her in 2 years since I went. I saw her 3 times after I had had the mercury fillings taken out here. And the whole idea was to try and clear out any of the mercury that had maybe dropped down during dentistry. and take it out. So it, you know, it would drop down, it dropped into any food that was left in like my digestive tract, and then she could help flush it out. Now I remember actually feeling really queasy quite a lot while she was doing it, and I felt quite like as if I was going to pass out and faint and stuff. But this time I felt fine. I felt really, really good. And she could actually really go to town with massaging my tummy area, my, you know, where all of my intestines are. She really went to town with a really good massage of that area. And she said, yes, you can see all the juices coming out. So obviously the green juice and the pineapple juice. And she said, yes, there was some like small, hard, like pieces of, you know, fetal that came out of, you know, your body. So I thought, wow, it's, you know, even after 120 days and going through a colonic, there's still stuff in there. So I was really pleased I did that, because I wasn't quite sure what it was, because, you know, the microbiome and the, you know, everything that is there designed to help break down the food. But I thought, right, I'm going to be starting fresh with the food soon. So I just wanted to try it out. And I'd had started doing colonics back, I think I was about 28 or 29 after I'd had surgery. And I was not feeling good down in my belly area. I felt a bit as if something had stuck there. So I went and it did really help. I actually lost about half a stone just from going to that colonic. So I continue to do that. I continue to do that, you know, a couple of times a year just to clear out the system. But I got to about 5 years ago, and I was pretty much having to do it like once a week, and I just thought, this isn't good. Something's not right. Something is not, you know, why can't I digest my food? Now, I was eating all sorts of stuff. I was eating fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and I was also eating, you know, potatoes, cooked foods, fried foods, chips, you know, vegan fried foods. I was vegan stuff, vegetarian stuff, eggs, and, you know, milk and cheese. Everything. I was eating everything, cake, everything. I was eating hot chips, crisps, everything. And I don't know why, but I just kind of assumed that because everyone else seemed to be okay to eat that kind of stuff, that I should be okay to eat that kind of stuff. And then it dawned on me that maybe they're not that good, and it's just fake. People are just faking it, just like they fake with a lot of things in life. So I decided that I couldn't listen to what anybody else was doing. The other thing that I noticed as well was people giving health advice. I got to the point where I stopped taking health advice from doctors. Now, I'm not saying that you should, but I've obviously spent a lot of time going in and out hospitals and taking advice from medical people, and taking lots of pharmaceuticals and actually not getting any better, and then finding the other problems. And I'm not saying that the medical system is there's anything wrong with it, but because I've actually had to have lots of surgery which helped me. Okay, so I'm going to say that you know, some of it did really help me, but some of it didn't. So what you're going to have to do is you have to go and see them. Like I went for a scan on my gallbladder, and they said, oh yes, you've got some big stones in there, we'll whip it out. And I was like, oh, that's great. You want to whip out my gallbladder? That would be a nice little insertion into my body, and, you know, maybe an infection or various other pharmaceuticals to add to it. And I thought, well, actually, if there's a gallbladder in my body, there's a reason there's a gallbladder in my body. It's there for a reason. Nature put it there for a reason. And so basically, I just thought, right, I'm just gonna just decline that one for now. And even my GP said, he said, well, what's the point of you just going for these tests if you don't even take the treatments and stuff? I said, well, I just want to know what's wrong, and then I will figure it out myself. So I came across a Spanish stone breaking tea, and I started drinking the tea, and I felt a lot better. And then I started doing a lot more research online. And then a week later, I went for another scan on my womb and found I had fibroids, and that they wanted to start doing operations on me there. And I was like, nope, I'm not letting you touch me. So again, the GP was like, well, why you go for this? Because I want to know if what is the problem, because you can't always tell because you can't see inside. So when they do the scans, ultra scans, and everything, they can tell you what's going on. So I thought, right, okay. So I kept researching on that, and every time I came across anybody that had success with it was basically raw vegan juicing. So I was like, right, okay, so I need to go raw vegan. And at that point I was only really eating tomatoes and cucumbers, so hey, I was like, there's got to be something in this if I'm only be able to put tomatoes and cucumbers in me. So that's when I started researching and come across a lot of raw vegan people, and thought, right, this is really what I've got to do. And so I did that for 7 months, and basically, raw vegan for 7 months, and I lost some weight then as well. And yes, it cleared up my gallbladder and my womb and things like that. But then I creeped back into a few cooked foods here and there, but I still mainly stayed like raw vegan. But yeah, I just there comes a point when like at Christmas, last Christmas, where I just kind of just overdid it on having some potatoes and sweet potatoes and parsnips and things like that, and some chocolate vegan cake. And I was like, just laid there thinking, oh, this is like rubbish. I feel like I'm going to fall asleep again, and I just don't have any energy. My kind of spiritual connection was less. My skin started to get bad again. I was like, what am I doing to myself? This is like torturing yourself. You are basically poisoning yourself with this stuff. Why are you doing this? Obviously there's lots of reasons. I mean, we've had a year of sort of lots of isolation and things like that. I think that was the main thing, is the isolation. And it's like, well, when is this isolation going to finish? So I thought, right, I need to find some people that I can connect with, a community of people again. So I mean, there's lots of people I've met over the years, but I decided that I needed to make the effort to connect with these people again and make more connections. So that's what I did. And then I knew that in January that I said, right, I'm going to do this juice cleanse, and that way I know that I'm going to stick to this, because I'm going to put my body through this, and I don't want to be going back to eating any cooked foods or junk foods or anything like that again, because I know that I'll get sick again. So I've had to make that promise to myself, for my self-care and for my self-love, that I will only put the fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds in my body so that it can fuel me. And also what I wanted is I wanted the brain power, because I found that I just really work so much better. I'm so much more productive. And what I really like is that I want to just do impact, like work, like do stuff that is like really intense for an hour or two, and then I can just go out and I can do something else. So I can break down that, intensive, like I can really push on and get something done really, really quickly. And then I get time to go and do other things. Whereas if I'm a bit lethargic and a bit sort of like, I can't get myself going, and I'm just taking my time, and I'm just like getting frustrated with things. It's all a bit too slow. I'm just like, come on, I want to do other things with my life. I want to go up and drive on the moors. I want to go down the beach. I want to go, into the town and just do some shopping or something. So I've pushed myself to make my brain work a lot quicker, and it's definitely a lot easier when you're raw vegan, okay, yes, I've had to juice 3 times a day, or maybe once a day, because I've juiced all in one go. But you kind of get into a routine. I think, well, I've still got to make a meal. I've still got to, like, okay, if I put toast in the toaster and, you know, a bowl of cereals and all that sort of stuff, and I've still got to make a sandwich, or I've still got to, like, make a cooked meal in the evening or something like that. It's still time consuming. So, and I know when I'm there, stood there juicing, that everything that I'm doing is going to be so beneficial to me, and it's going to fuel my body so much better. It's going to heal my body so much better. And I feel like, yeah, I'm going to live forever. I'm not, but I am in the universe, because my spirit will live forever. So, yeah, this is my vessel. So I need to look after the vessel, so my spirit can be in this planet, in this journey, in the, you know, so that I can enjoy being here on Earth. There's so much I want to see and do yet. So I haven't even seen a fraction of it, really. So yeah, it's kind of, that's what really excites me. I said, yes, I want to go traveling. I want to, you know, go off to fruit festivals, and you know, you know, there's loads of stuff that I want to do. You know, people say, well, why do you want to live for like 150 years old? It's like, well, I'll never run out of things to do. I will always have things to do, because my mind is very creative, and I find it all really exciting. And you know, some things that I really want to go back to. So there's some books that I would like to read again. There's, you know, I think there's plenty to do in this world, absolutely plenty to do. Like, you know, hey, maybe I'll take up playing a musical instrument or something like that. When you know, I wanted to play the violin when I was younger, but I never got around to doing it. But, you know, maybe later on I will, you know. So your world is your oyster, you say, but don't eat your oysters, because they'll make your tummy bad. For me, anyway. I'm gonna drink my juice now. Cheers. That's really nice, actually. Maybe I'll do the prunes a bit more. It's quite good. It's like when I was younger, I used to drink a lot of Bacardi and Coke in my teenage years. I think that's probably why I got very sick. But maybe I was meant to get very sick so that I'd come on this journey. So that's maybe why it all happened. And now I'm drinking fruit juice. But hey, that's all part of the game. It's all part of the life plan. So apparently, if it goes through in an hour and 15 minutes, all good. But if it takes a bit longer than that, then you might have to go back on the juice cleanse. But I've decided that it doesn't really matter what my results are on this. I'm going to go back to solids for a while, and then maybe do another one another time if I need to. So anyway, have a treat, treat yourself to a juice cleanse. Yeah, let's go and have some juice parties somewhere. Yes. You know,